Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM, half wrestling show, half talk show, half pretty much all BS. You got the Coco crew here holding it down live. Sexiest man right here, boom boom, shaking the room from Richmond, Virginia. And of course, Angry Dave Coco here, rocking it from Tokyo, Japan. Well, Dave, we got to start off with some breaking news here. John Cena, we've got the story up on ProWrestling.me. John Cena has suffered a shoulder injury. He is going to miss WrestleMania. He is going to be out anywhere from 6 to 9 months. Right now, there's no word of when exactly that injury occurred, but John Cena himself has even tweeted out on his official Twitter account about, at the time that we've done this, about roughly 30 minutes ago. He says, rather upside down start to 2016. As of tomorrow, I will head to Birmingham for shoulder surgery. Life is full of setbacks, but hashtag never give up. So this is huge. I mean, he is now joining Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan,
Cesaro,
whole list of people who are on the sidelines with injuries. It's looking like none of these guys are going to make Mania this year. So this is going to be very interesting to see how WWE handles this and rebounds from it. Coco, this is huge. I mean, whether you like Cena or not, this is huge for the WWE. What's your reaction to this just news that just came out literally just moments ago?
I just want to state for the record, come out. I've always hated John Cena, even back in the developmental territory days. But even like my younger days, dumber days, I'd probably be celebrating. But even then, like when I don't like someone like Matt Hardy or Jeff Hardy, even Batista, I kind of wish they would go the way of Batista and find success in something else. It's such a weird feeling because I'm not a John Cena fan at all. And I even joked, like, before this news story broke, first off, thank every source I've ever had. Like, no one gives me sources, but everyone sent this source to me right away. I even had WWE employees tweeting me and, like, sending me messages. Like, can you believe it? I guess they were expecting a different reaction. But, the older me is always like, I wish them success in something else. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. And all that, but the timing is pretty horrible. I've hated John Cena from day one. I was working with WWN. I talked with a bunch of people. We got to watch the developmental territory. And I'm like, no, that guy just has the looks. He has nothing else. And I remember people going, oh, he's going to be a big star. He's going to be a big star. And I'm like, dude, I hope not, because he's not good. You got to remember, he was there with Brock Lesnar and, the posse of fucking great wrestlers. But the older me is like, I just wish him success. I wish him success in something else, like movies, television, and all that. And he started branching out in that success and all that. But as a huge John Cena hater, this was his best year. He had the U.S. Open Challenge. Now, granted, the evil side of me, the critic of me says, well, that's just him beating up mid-carders. But even if that was the case, he was still putting on his best matches. And it's just kind of sad. You're like, oh, best matches, starting to be successful in other ventures. And you're like, all right, maybe John Cena's on the way out. But this is not the way I wanted him. I'd rather have him star in Captain America and all that. So, it's huge news. But it's also, I think 2016, the way Monday Night Raw ended, and now with this and other people being injured, Randy Orton, Dave Batista not being there, Randy Orton not being there, John Cena not being there. And for those that don't know, I think Dave Batista is one of the greatest human beings alive. I absolutely hate him when he's in WWE. And I hate the trio. I think those trios have made me suffer more than I've had people that have literally pointed guns at my head that probably didn't make my life more painful than those three guys on Monday Night Raw. But it's opportunity. The way Monday Night Raw ended, the way, there's tons of New Japan rumors. By the way, we were setting up for a New Japan recap show, which we'll get to. It's just there's plenty of opportunity here for WWE. Because I think even though WWE has been putting on a bad product for the last John Cena career, I think like they've they have great opportunity to be great. They have a hell of a roster, and I think even WWE, I think they just leaned on John Cena way too much. Even the most pro John Cena guys were like, no, they leaned on him way too much. And now it's time to create new stars. And we'll talk about this in the New Japan review later, but I'll just give it a little bit. WWE roster is probably the best talent-wise it's ever been. Booking-wise, it's been horrible. And, John, even Big Match John, has been having good matches this year. So it's kind of like, all right, the worst human being possible in my eyes, having great matches, getting ready to leave, and you have so much opportunity to be good. There's no way WWE should be bad. And I know it's like, ooh, sports entertainment versus pro wrestler. You're losing both fans. It's not like you're winning over the sports entertainment fan and only the IWC is mad. No, you pissed off everybody. Congratulations on your stubbornness. You have such an awesome talent, and now that the guy that you lean on more than you probably should, I'm not just saying that as a John Cena hater. I'm gonna be a John Cena supporter for a second. Dude, there's way too much pressure on that cat. There's no way that much pressure should be on one guy. You know what I mean? You should have a roster, and the Attitude Era. Even Hulk Hogan. A lot of people compare John Cena to Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan didn't have it as rough as John Cena. And even though I'm a huge John Cena hater, I don't want people to be like, oh, he's injured, I like John Cena. No, I fucking still despise the guy. I just wish when he left for more successful stuff than an injury. Does that make sense to you?
No, it makes perfect sense to me. And by the way, before we go any further, I want to give a shout out to Raymond Jameson, Wesley Mincer, Andy Papp, CM Punk 727. They're joining us now in our live chat room. Yes, we managed to get that thing up and running again. So
if you don't mind, I'm going to eat crow here. Boom Boom knew how to do live chat, and I didn't. And the reason we haven't had live chat is because, A, I'm very angry with very short, Boom, 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 boom. How angry was I before getting this podcast? I'm a very angry person. And second, I didn't think it was that easy. I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, just go here and here and here. I'm like, you lie. It's never that easy. And then Boom Boom walked through it. And I was like, why haven't I done live chat before? So no live chat on the videos. That's my fault for not following simple directions. But no live comments. That's still YouTube and Google's fault. So you're still getting your Google cake there. I'll read a couple live comments if you don't mind. Let me read John Cena's tweet. You pretty much got this story on ProWrestling.me. It's down below, too. Also a link to it. I want to thank the 200 motherfuckers who sent messages before anyone else broke the story. But John Cena's tweet, he tweeted this 39 minutes ago. Rather upside down start to 2016, as tomorrow I'll head to Birmingham for shoulder surgery. Life's full of setbacks, but # never give up. So I don't know. I hate John Cena, but this is not the way I wanted him to go out. This is not the way I wanted him to go out. All right. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let's go. Live chat. Raymond Jameson's crazy happy. Wesley Messer, Andy Paps. Yeah, this is all my fault. Boom, 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 boom. I threw you under the bus a lot during the New Japan show. I have to give yourself a Barry Horowitz. Great job on getting the chat back. CM Punk 727 says, just HN, it says starting to get better. Oh, he's starting to get better and Cena gets hurt. Yeah. I'm probably here's the thing. I kid you not. Remember the Internet Infantry wrote something like, oh, I hate how people blame life's problems on something. And as soon as 5 seconds before, I was like, oh, that's John Cena with me. LOL. And then this news breaks and I'm like, oh, talk about improper timing. Adrian Alex Bo says now they can push Ambrose more, hopefully. Yeah, they have such a great talent roster right now. In NXT, in mid-card. They just had – I grew up a WCW, ECW fan, and I love a lot of the alternatives and New Japan, Lucha Underground now. So I've never been a WWE guy. That's why I always get mad when it's like, you were always a Hulkamaniac. I'm like, Four Horsemen, bitch, for life. So many people, wrestling fans' heads exploded. But yeah, no, I haven't. WWE has always been the enemy in my eyes. They've just won the war, so it's like, all right, keep fucking watching this shit. But yeah, I just I don't know. As a WWE fan, this is where I was going with this. Boom Boom. You've been a WWE fan your whole life. I have not. I mean, I've always watched it, but I've not. It's never been my number one. It's maybe in my number one for a very short time when they bought everyone out. But it's been a number one a big chunk of your life. Do you remember any time as a WWE fan the roster being this good from top to bottom in ring wise?
In ring wise in WWE, I think they had a pretty good roster. I think in the late '90s with the Attitude Era. I mean, because you had
but I think that's more entertainment. I think in ring wise they can't touch today. I don't think.
I mean, look at this. I mean, you got to admit, Rock and Stone Cold and Triple H were pretty good. Edge and Christian.
My favorite time in ring wise was Eddie Guerrero, Brock Lesnar in his prime, Chris Benoit, Jericho before he decided to suck dick on a podcast. Those were good times for in-ring action. CM Punk 727 says this was supposed to be the biggest Mania ever. I think he's talking about attendance-wise. Won't be without a biggest star needed sellout Cowboy Stadium. I see your point, but I think it's too close. I don't think it matters that much because a lot of WrestleMania, you have to get those tickets super early, and that's why I don't enjoy going to WrestleMania because you have to buy your tickets sometimes a year in advance. I don't know. There's a very long time.
Probably not quite a year in advance, but several months in advance. I think maybe they're about to go on sale. If they haven't already, they're about to go on sale now. We don't even know what the matches are going to be. I think what pushes WrestleMania is the fact that it's WrestleMania. It's built up such a reputation. You have to buy. I mean, it's just WrestleMania. It's just like a big to-do. There are fans who come from all over the world to wherever WrestleMania is to take part in that event. Now, if this was about 5 years ago, I could definitely see WWE hitting the panic button. But as in the past couple of years, WWE has kind of started to wean off John Cena just a little bit. Not saying they don't go back to him, but they've been trying to wean themselves off of him a little bit, trying to reduce his role. And right now they've been pushing, shoving Roman Reigns down our throats. So I think it's been 5 years ago. Yeah, they've been panicking, but now they've been trying to get behind Roman Reigns, the company that is. So I don't think they're in full-scale panic mode. It's definitely a blow. It is. It's definitely a blow to not have John Cena there. But is it going to be like a catastrophic failure? I don't think so because typically, and this is what happens every year, you start to see some interest pick up. Okay, ratings die down around the holidays. They start to pick up in January with the Royal Rumble. They kind of go through a little bit of a malaise, and then they peak right around WrestleMania, and then it goes through a lull period, and then they try to pick up some momentum again for the summer.
Yeah. Wesley says WrestleMania is going to be a strange adventure. Yeah, and I hope it pans out. I hope it works out good. Adrian Alex Poe says God is telling Vince to push younger talent. Yeah, he's really stubborn about that.
Oh, yeah, he is pushing younger talent. His name is Roman Reigns.
Yeah. It's basically John Cena with a tan. That's not fair. He's better than John Cena. Wesley says, and that roster is primed to be doing more than they are right now. Agree. Super Cena will heal himself before the Rumble comeback and win it. Calling it now. That would, dude. That would be. Do you know how heartbreaking that would be as a fucking Cena hater? Super Cena will heal himself. Oh, I already heard that. This is beyond the power of Super Cena. This is from Wesley. I really don't envy WWE with WrestleMania this year at all. If you're WWE creative and you want to make a name for yourself, this is the greatest thing that could have happened to you, to be honest. It depends on your position. If you're a mid-carder, if you're a pro wrestling fan, I don't know. They could do something amazing. And you got to remember when Vince I don't compliment Vince much. The only time Vince McMahon is good is when his back's against the wall. Vince is one of those guys who, like, literally is like, oh, I don't have to try? Bitches, I ain't trying. What? Someone's trying to compete against me? And, you know, oh, my back. No one puts baby in the corner. That's for you, Randy Harris. I can't remember it being that bad. They don't have any stars. And that's from CM Punk 727. That's their own fault. Like, that is WWE Creative's own fault. Even the most pro-Cena guys will admit that. That is all WWE Creative. Every time. You had Dean Ambrose sell the most shirts. He was punished for it. You had CM Punk get over. Like, they sabotaged so many goddamn careers for John Cena. So that's their fault. That is not, you know, maybe I'm wrong, but my opinion, a very strong opinion of mine. So that's not the wrestler's fault at all. Not one fucking bit. Not one bit. That is WWE. That is John Cena. This is the worst case nightmare for WWE super fans and John Cena fans. And yeah, you can be like, oh, there's not any stars. No. Look, every time there's star peaks, they destroy them. And even Triple H in the documentary is like, well, I put him in a doghouse to test him. You wouldn't have done that if you had real competition. You wouldn't have done that if you cared about entertainment. Imagine if the music industry was like that. I don't know much about music, but can you imagine the record producers be like, yeah, Justin Bieber's young and hot right now, but I'm going to fucking humble him by not selling his CDs. Like, it's just, sometimes pro wrestling is its own little bubble. It becomes ridiculous. Like, can you imagine if WCW was still in power, how much Dolph Ziggler's career would have been better? They wouldn't have done that to Dolph Ziggler. They would never have done what they did to Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose was literally punished for selling more merchandise than John Cena. Conan on MLW Radio has fucking said CM Punk was punished for selling more merchandise than John Cena. Once you get to that part of a monopoly and you're that fucking crazy, that's not the wrestler's fault. That is not the wrestler's fault. I mean, we basically had to fucking start a riot to fucking, you know, well, I'm being a little sarcastic here, but we had to basically start a riot to get Daniel Bryan any respect. And even when you're like, oh, well, he got injured. Well, yeah, but then there's the Dana White way of thinking. Dana White said, why wouldn't you push a young star? This career is short. Your career could be over at any moment. Why is there brass rings? If there was WCW, if TNA had a fucking more than a half-wit running that goddamn company, you wouldn't fucking be that. But you have such a monopoly, you can do whatever fuck you want. It would be like us. And I hope we wouldn't be like this. If we were the only YouTube channel out there, we'd probably treat our viewers like shit. I hope we wouldn't be like that, but there's a good chance you're like the only one. Like in Tokyo, I work as a teacher, and it's really competitive in Tokyo. And like people are working for like I don't. For the record, I'm pretty set with my job, and I love my job. But there's a lot of people working for less than minimum wage because of how competitive it is. You go out to the country, you can just tell students, be like, yeah, I don't want to teach you. Fuck off. Because there's not much competition. So I think WWE would be a hell of a lot better place. I do not, and I could be wrong. Do you agree or disagree? I'm sorry to hog up the comment time. I do not blame the wrestlers one bit for this.
No, I don't. I believe their so-called creative team. I think they're just too scared, and the wrestlers are too scared to take chances. I mean, biggest example of that is Brad Maddox. I mean, Brad Maddox at a live show went off script. He was supposed to call the fans losers, but instead he called them cocky pricks. He made it to the back, and they fired him on the spot. And that just sends a message that, you know what, you do what we tell you to do, and there are consequences if you don't. And the creative team is slamming their head up against the wall like, okay, well, the boss says we've got to push Roman Reigns. We have to get Roman Reigns over. How do we do that? Well, the only way we could think of to do that is make everybody else look fucking god-awful. Yeah. So I guess that's how we do it. And, you know, these wrestlers, I mean, you know, unless you've got CM Punk fuck you money, you're not – I mean, you're going to do what you're told. You're absolutely going to do what you're told, and that's the reason why I feel like WWE's in the state of disarray that it's in right now.
And some people have fuck you money and they're still bitches. Del Rio. I mean, matter of fact, I usually don't say this because it's so easy for fucking people to deny it. But I remember talking to WWE Creative, and, you know, I've been interviewed by a lot of companies, and they're like, how would you get John Cena over? And my answer was, you're asking the wrong question. You should feel the fans. You should adjust. Like, there's always this thing that, oh, the IWC. They're like, oh, well, they always like the new guy. Well, then you fucking make new guys and fucking replace it. Like, CM Punk should have been on charge. Then Daniel Bryan should have been in charge. Then Dean Ambrose. Like, what the fuck? You have a roster of 900 fucking million people. You have no competition. What the fuck? Oh, they always want a new guy. Well, then deliver them a fucking new guy. New Japan does it. Ring of Honor did it. ECW was forced to do it. What the fuck is going on? Like, why the fuck can't you figure that out? Like, it should be, booking wrestling should be like an orchestra. You feel it. You adjust. Like, it's not like, oh, this phone, make it the #1 contender, push it to the moon. No. Tell many storylines, feel it, and adjust to it. And that's it. By the way, they did not like my answer. They looked like they fucking bit into a goddamn lemon. But it's the wrong fucking answer. Oh, how would you get John Cena over? I'm using fucking terms they probably didn't use, but it's the wrong fucking answer. It's the wrong question. You're asking the wrong fucking question. What do you mean? How? Fuck you. Put him in a storyline. If he's not fucking over, he drops down the fucking card. And you'd be like, well, he sells the most merchandise. Yeah, because you penalize CM Punk and Dean Ambrose. Look at Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose had one fucking t-shirt to choose from. He outsold them during the holiday Christmas season. And look how they booked him. Did they reward him? Did they reward him? You can be like, well, now he's in mid-card hell and he's going to have 900 matches against Kevin Owens for a title. Yeah, but look how they rewarded him. He was off pay-per-views. He fucking barely ever won. It was like, yeah, Dean Ambrose, what? You sold more merchandise? Just look at the Christmas. He sold more merchandise. Look how he went into that month, and look at the next 6 months. That's their fault. That's their fault. That's an old man that has no real competition. And you know what? It actually hurts John Cena because remember, think about John Cena's biggest pops. All right, these are the two biggest pops in my opinion. When he came back to the Royal Rumble and no one knew, and I thought that was a huge pop. And when he was forced to join NXT, there was a pop and it was a concern. That's the thing. Like, even like I honestly believe John Cena's legacy, his legacy. Fuck it, let's just call it. Stop there. John Cena's legacy would be 1,000,000 times better if there was competition and the creative team wasn't so stubborn. Think about it. Like, I remember watching with my 10-year-old son now. I don't know how old he was then. He doesn't watch WWE. He doesn't enjoy WWE. It just doesn't. Like, I'm like, oh, here's an 8-year-old, fucking doesn't enjoy it. Here's a 10-year-old, doesn't fucking enjoy it. But I remember going, he never cared about John Cena. Matter of fact, his favorite wrestler was Umaga in WWE. He never cared about John Cena. But when he was forced to join NXT, my son went, wow, what's he going to do, Dad? And then 2 weeks later, the storyline was over. So, like, even if you go to your key demographic, my son never cared about John Cena until he was forced to join, not NXT, he was forced to join Nexus. I apologize for that error.
Dave, can I bring up one quick point here? You said that WWE's key demographic, is people, 10 and under, right around that age?
No, the key demographic is actually 38 to 41. That's their number one demographic.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
The one they're shooting for is children.
Yeah, that's what they're shooting for. It's funny you should mention this because I got a hold of the Raw ratings. This is according to Nielsen. The first Raw of 2016 scored a 2.49 cable rating. Which was slightly like 0.02 of a point higher than last week. But the first hour they did 3.7 million. The second hour they did 3.5 million. And then the third hour, they dropped off slightly, about a hundredth of a point. But here's but back to the point right here. The demographic, the Raw's average median age throughout the show was 43.8 years old.
It's just, and not only that, but like they made a huge mistake. And I go back to this. They had a choice when UFC came around. Are you going to be more sports like New Japan? Or are you going to be more sports entertainment? And they went the sports entertainment route because they were scared. They were scared. How are you going to outsports UFC? They told their stockholders they were going to get NASCAR money. I love how like WWE, everyone toots WWE's horn. But if you're actually a stockholder, that's a pretty shitty fucking stock. You're lied to often. They told their stockholders they're going to get NASCAR money. They get more eyeballs than that, but they don't get NASCAR money because it's not a sport. If you went the sport route, you probably would have got a better deal on your cable, but you didn't. They just saw it. They see it as cheap entertainment. They see it a step above really bad reality TV.
Dave, let me jump in something. If WWE saying, "Oh, we're going to make NASCAR money," that's not the route they want to follow, because the ratings and I don't know about sponsorship, but I know for a fact the ratings for NASCAR has declined over the past 2 decades. And I should know because I used to watch NASCAR back in the late 80s, back all through the 90s. But right around 2000, it was right after Dale Earnhardt died.
Yeah, but they're still making a lot more money because
yeah, they're making money. But I'm just saying, a lot of their fan base is declining, and this is going to get to my point here. This ties back to WWE, is the fact that they implemented all these rule changes. They just they tweaked everything, and it just turned fans off. And so stands that used to sell out back in the 90s are just barren now. I mean, they don't reach the attendance level that they used to have. Why? Because they turned off their own fan base.
They're still making more money and with less ratings and less events. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, so I don't know. And here's the thing. Sometimes we come off as WWE fanboys. Sometimes we come off as WWE bashers. They have the talent. They have the money. They're the best at fucking marketing. The product should be good for everybody. The fact that the product's not good for everybody is insane. And, like, what do you compare it to? Do you compare it to Pixar? Do you compare it to Disney? Do you compare it to the NFL? What do you compare WWE to? And, like, what is it a success? Like, I don't understand. But, yeah. I really don't. Oh, we already read that. CM Punk. I can't remember it being this bad. They don't have. Oh, we already read that. Sorry. They have Roman Reigns. That's Alex, Adrian. But well, I don't know. Roman Reigns is going through a rough patch. I still think Roman Reigns is better than John Cena. I've always said that. I always believe that. But with that said, they have to hide his weaknesses. And sometimes Roman Reigns looks like he could be a great star, and sometimes Roman Reigns looks like they just threw out a fucking baby deer onto the highway. Like, it's very inconsistent. But with that said, we have this argument a lot at ProWrestling.me. We have this argument a lot on this show. I still think he's better than Cena. I might be the only one that feels that way, but also it might be just the new president type thing. He's better than the last one. We got a lot of worldwide viewers. I gotta start like getting out of American references. But yeah, because boom, you work in the news. Like every time there's a new president, there's always those people that are like, he's better than the last one, even if he's not that good. Raymond Jameson says, personally, I believe that this could work for WWE, not only going to show new talent, you can actually put some NXT matches in WrestleMania if they're smart, could make this work. They have so many opportunities. This is one of the biggest opportunities they have. The way they booked the Royal Rumble, the way they're talking about rumors about New Japan, the roster at NXT. This is the most excited I've been for potential for WWE. Now, granted, they fuck up potential a lot. Remember when Lance Storm and Shane McMahon ran the ring for the Invasion? And I thought like there was a ton of potential there. But WWE has a history of fucking up potential. But right now, if you're a WWE fan, a pro wrestling fan, there's a good chance 2016 they might turn this around. We need less people blindly defending money. And that's the thing. They don't even blindly defend WWE anymore. They're just like, they make the most money. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. A. Losa, holy crap, they got rid of the two biggest names, the Red Hot Rollins, fan favorite Cesaro. The only really big name is Brock Lesnar. They got themselves into deep shit. And people warned him about this. There's even WWE employees that warned him about this. I've heard John Cena give interviews
videos
before.
on this. I remember doing videos going, hey, if you keep pushing the same guy, what are you going to do when he gets hurt?
Yeah. Oh, man. I just lost my spot. Sorry about that. Boop, boop, boop. Man, there's a lot of live comments. I'm so glad we found this live comment option. All right, here we go. We'll try to go through these. I would love seeing a cool NXT presence on main WrestleMania stage this year.
It won't happen.
I would love that too, but I think they're going to go back to legends. I think they're calling up every goddamn legend possible. They're like, HBK, come on, one more. Ric Flair, That's what I think they're doing because they don't have faith in the future of the product. That's why they stuck with John Cena. That's why they stuck with Randy Orton. That's why they stuck with Dave Bautista. They just don't have – they're more stubborn to prove people right than make the product good. Today's wrestling is more athletic, which is why the roster is better than previous years. That's from Joe Glow. That's a possibility. That's a great possibility.
I agree.
But even with that, I agree with you, but even with that, it seems like they're going after talent more these last 2 years with NXT than ever in history. But yeah, I agree with that. I agree. And plus, they're more open to receiving great athletes. You got to remember, they weren't that open for AJ Styles. They weren't that open for Okada Nakamura just a few years ago. I mean, Samoa Joe, and people might hate me for this opinion, but it's a very strong opinion of mine. I thank CM Punk for all this. I think if CM Punk fails, this doesn't happen. I think CM Punk being successful, fighting the good fight. I know it's easy to make fun of CM Punk, but yeah, I remember CM Punk and Samoa Joe signed around the same time. Not the exact same time, but around the same time period. Samoa Joe went to TNA and CM Punk went to Ohio Valley, I believe, one of the developmental territories. And I remember telling everyone Samoa Joe made the right decision. And now, thanks to CM Punk, talented wrestlers are getting a shot. I didn't even notice Cena was missing last week on Raw. Maybe WWE can move forward without him. That's the dream. CM Punk 727. Thank you for all these live comments. Problem is, Raymond, they aren't smart. I don't know if he's talking about WWE or us. That's impossible.
No, he's responding to a comment made by another viewer. Dave. Okay. You can read the questions and the comments to us, not between other people.
Gotcha. Raymond Jamison says, I know. Ooh, I like that. Wesley says, yeah, when Vince is pushed to the limit, he does great. WWE is great, pushed to the extreme limit. I get it. Hook and Shoot says, praise to be to Terry Funk. He had heard my prayers. Yeah. There's a part of me that brings a smile to my face, but then I feel guilty that I'm smiling. Adrian says, bye, Cena. This is karma for WWE.
No, he's saying it's actual karma. I think.
Yeah. I know. Not all gone. Johnny says, I'm wrong for looking more towards the NXT TakeOver Dallas more than Mania. No, I think there's a lot of stuff. I look forward to Kingdom more. I look for NXT more. I look for Ring of Honor WrestleMania weekend card more. I went to WrestleMania 24, and I enjoyed the Ring of Honor event a lot more. I'm just hoping, as a pro wrestling fan, that this starts a trend of great thing. CM Punk 727 says, I agreed. It's their own fault. Everybody's up and down the card, but the mid card is overrated. If Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler is the answer, I don't like the question. I don't know. I think I'm not very high on him, but not anymore. But I think at a time, Ziggler could have been a huge star. I think the days have passed. I think Ambrose isn't my cup of tea, but I think he's enough people's cup of tea to enjoy it. And I don't know. You got tons. You got Yuha Nation. You got Kenta. I don't know. It just depends if you're a superstar or not. And of course, can you imagine if Daniel Bryan didn't have to grab those brass rings? Can you imagine if CM Punk didn't have to grab those brass rings? And it might have opened up. I know that, but WWE also, are great at propaganda and trends. If WWE says, one day, and I'm being a little sarcastic here, but it's kind of true. One day, Vince McMahon woke up and said, you know what? Hardcore wrestling is stupid. And the day that he woke up and said that, afterwards, so many people hated hardcore wrestling, and so many people before that liked it. It's just, WWE is really good at propaganda. WWE is really awesome at marketing. If they put that propaganda marketing behind good wrestling, they decide what the masses like. And if they actually got behind something most people do like, it would be the biggest dangerous combination in the world. I mean, if I was Ring of Honor, if I was Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, if I was New Japan, and they said, hey, listen, this is the year of the athlete. This is the year. This is the pro wrestling generation. We're going to show how great our athletes are. If they went that way, I would be shitting my pants if I was an alternative. I'd just be like, oh, well, I mean, the only alternative that would be happy is Chikara and maybe a few Chikara-like feds. They'd be going around high-fiving. Like, it's the year, it's the Chikara era. All right. Wesley says, and by the way, Four Horsemen was my favorite when I was growing up, too. Hell yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to skip any that seem like it's a conversation between users. Bruno says, do you think Cena will end up retiring without passing the torch? And no, for two reasons. I think him, Flair, because he needs money, Stephanie, Vince, I think they want him to see him tie or break Flair's record. So I don't see him retiring. I think he breaks the record. I mean, if he the perfect end to the ultimate crappy John Cena story would be him beating Ric Flair's record and then retiring. But I see him. This is just my prediction. I could be wrong. I don't know. But my prediction is John Cena beats Flair's record and then passes the torch to someone that's just like him. Dun, 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 Roman Reigns. Wrestling Hobo, you finally figured out how to enable the chat room. Yes, yes. Boop, 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 boop. Take a fucking chance with Ambrose. Wrestling, that's from Poe. No Cena at Mania, fuck yeah. This is all from Hobo, Wrestling Hobo. I bet he will be back for Mania. Dude, don't fuck with our emotions. And the thing is, like, WWE is that low. Booms, just right now, WWE is low enough to fake an injury, overdo an injury, and him come back for Mania. My question to you, Boo Boo, what percentage is this ain't as big as people are making it out to be, and he's back by Mania just so that we fucking feel sorry for him, and he comes back into a huge pop? I want to.
Here's the thing, Ben. Do you mean like when you say coming back at Mania? Do you mean like him just making an appearance or actually wrestling?
No, a match. The whole shebang.
I'd give him about a 20% chance that happens.
Dude, how dirty would you feel if that was the case? Like it's just like it's to remove a freckle or something. Like, you know, I'm being a little sarcastic.
Well, I mean, last time he suffered a shoulder injury, that's when he made his big return at the Royal Rumble ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
No, that was a bicep injury. I think it was a bicep injury he had. But yeah, I know which one you're talking about. But no, I think it sounds like it's legit. And I mean, you're looking at 6. I mean, you're talking to shoulder surgery. I mean, that's going to take a minimum of 6 months to heal up. I mean, look at Hideo Itami. Look at Sami Zayn. Yeah. Sami Zayn just now came back from a shoulder injury. He suffered in the spring. Hideo Itami suffered like another 1 month later. He's still not back.
CM Punk 727 says Ambrose was in the main event like half the pay-per-views last year. I don't know. Was he? I got a bad memory. I don't know. I just know he isn't. Poe says, but he lost every match. Yeah. Wesley says, it's amazing that I was just talking about this today about how the WWE roster is handled. We are on the same vibe. Ambrose has been ruined. A lot of people have been ruined because the thing is, here's the thing. When John Cena was handpicked by Stephanie, I know there's a story like one time I stubbed the toe on Vince McMahon and he wanted to fire me. And I was so scared. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. You were fucking handpicked by Stephanie McMahon and you were giving the fucking greatest opportunity. Like, I just remember him in the fucking developmentals. Like, he's going to be the next star. We're putting all our money on him. Stephanie chose him. So the whole, I feared for my job, take a risk, kids, is bullshit. It's bullshit. Like, everyone that was in developmentals knows it was bullshit. Everyone who's followed your career knows it was bullshit. Look how you premiered against John Cena. You were handpicked from day one. You are Stephanie. You are the princess's first pet project. Don't go on a goddamn podcast and tell younger wrestlers to take a chance. Yeah, I took a chance. You didn't take a chance. You were handpicked. We knew in developmental territory when you were doing the fucking robot that you were handpicked by Stephanie McMahon. Ambrose has been ruined. A lot of people have been ruined. And if Ambrose was handpicked, he would be the biggest star. I mean, look poor Chris Hero. He should have been in the Shield. Look, they're handpicked, and look how much they give up. If Dean Ambrose had the same track record as Roman Reigns, he would probably be sent down to NXT or fired. But he's not the chosen one. That's the problem. And not only that, but like one thing that really makes me angry is the piped in crowd noise. Why do chosen ones get piped in crowd? Like, if you're going to pipe in crowd noise for everybody. Don't pipe in crowd noise just for certain people. And those that are like, that's bullshit, try to find a live feed of SmackDown or Raw where it's the actual feed to the network. Sometimes you can find them online. Yeah, you can hear them preparing things. Well, it's not even worth arguing. If you don't think they pipe in crowd noise, then, I don't know where you go with the conversation from here. CM Punk, yeah, but you really think he should have beat Rollins? I don't know who you're talking about. I guess he's still talking about Ambrose. They didn't let Ambrose or Owens cut any promos because they gave Reigns 30 minutes promos every night. Rollins has also been ruined. Reigns ruins himself. How is Rollins ruined? Okay, now we're having conversations. I don't think he's ruined. I think that's a strong word. I think when Randy Orton came along, like, I thought at some time Seth Rollins was the perfect heel champion, but then when the chosen ones came along, it got ridiculous. Like, Seth Rollins against Brock Lesnar was like the perfect heel coward. But, like, when it came to Randy Orton and certain chosen ones, it got ridiculous. I think they made him too much. I don't think he's ruined, and I think that's Triple H's pet project. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back as a face, but who knows? We'll see. I'm sure they're not even worried about that stuff right now. They're just worried about his health. The Ambrose versus Owens feud built up was soda and popcorn because they only cared about pushing Reigns correctly. Yeah, not that, but it's the Intercontinental title back in the day used to be the best wrestlers in the company. It doesn't feel that way now. It feels like, hey, you put over John Cena and the Chosen Ones, fight over this forever until we have to put the Chosen Ones over again. And it's just too much of the same pattern. Poe says Ambrose for Owens feud built. Oh, we already read that. Boop, boop, boop. Who was booked as a pussy since he was booked as a pussy since turning heel? Yeah, but I think sometimes being a cowardly heel is good, but it definitely went overboard. There was times where like he was hitting home runs being a cowardly heel, and then sometimes it was like, bro, too far. What is your thoughts? What do you think about Seth? A lot of mixed reviews here in chat.
I think they had the right idea. It's just they just took it too far. Typically speaking, and when you go throughout wrestling history, you have two types of heel champions. You have the coward and you have the monster. You either have the monster that rolls through everybody, and it's just a matter of okay, who can stop this unstoppable beast? Here he's huge, he's massive, he just destroys anything that gets in his path. And then you have the coward. It's like, oh, he just the good guy almost beat him, he almost squirmed out of it. But the good guy will get him next time. That's what keeps people coming back. With Rollins, they took the coward heel to a different extreme. Yeah, he played that role quite well. Took opportunity of picked his spots, took advantage of things. But they put him on a losing streak. Like, he would always lose on TV. He would just barely retain his title on pay-per-view. It was just, I think they took it way too far, and I think that kind of hurt his title reign. Now, him as a champion overall, I enjoyed. I just think his reign could have been presented a lot better.
Yeah. And people are just arguing about if he's ruined or not. Losa says, yeah, it was really over at the end of the day and could have been better, but injured dropped it. Then again, SS was going to be Rollins and Reigns. Hughley Bear, give yourself a Barry Horowitz, because Hughley Bear, first off, cool little icon. And second, this might be the funniest fucking comment I've read in a while. Time to push the Divas division. LOL. All right, there's some insults going back and forth. Yeah, they're trying to kill myself. I think Rollins is the best in the world right now. His work rate, main events is the best. I don't know. I can, an argument can be made. An argument definitely can be made. His booking is horrible, but if you go work rate and all that, yeah, an argument can be made. Like, I mean, I could list off like 10 other guys that are up there with that, but it's like, yeah, if you say Rollins is the best in the world minus booking, there's definitely a strong argument for that. Do you agree with that? I mean, outside of booking, Rollins one of the best in the world?
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the guy routinely wrestled 2 matches in one night. I mean, the guy was, a phenomenal. I mean, his conditioning was through the fucking roof. Definitely a good champion.
Yeah. This is a funny question. Poe asks, imagine if Reigns gets injured too. I think I just thought of 2 funny things. 2 things happen. Vince McMahon fucking forgives Hulk Hogan right on the spot. Like, he's like, Hogan, it's okay, I forgive you. And the second one is Vince is like, fuck it, it's your company now, Triple H, and he just goes home. So either 2 things happen. Like, I can see Vince be like, what Hogan did, was it really that bad? Like, I can see that going on. Or he just goes home. He's like, what? I tried. Fuck you guys. I'm 70 years old.
I was thinking with both, let's see now, with Orton, Rollins, Cena, and Reigns out, I could see like either Brock Lesnar being pushed as the champion, or we're going to hit their headline. Vince McMahon jumps from his office at Titan Towers to the streets below, commits suicide.
I don't know. I think we're too old to make suicide jokes. This ain't a morning show anymore. Oh, man, sorry. Hold on. Where did my live comments go? I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have laughed at that as much as I did. All right. Wrestling Hobo says, humans are having fewer and fewer children these days. They are catering to a diminished market. And, that's a very deep answer and all that, but I think it's more than that. I think, first off, yeah, there's a population decline worldwide in most first world countries. Second thing is that children have so many options. Like, they can watch whatever they want. Like, and wrestling's not cool anymore. Third is they don't have sports. Like, in sports, you pass down. You're like, oh, you got to watch baseball because I watched baseball. You got to play American football because I played American football. That's a huge advantage. Nowadays, you have, 43 years old was their average. So those 43-year-olds, maybe 60% of them have kids. I know it's funny to make fun wrestling fans of virgins. I'll be here all week. But about 60% of them have kids. Do you tell your kids to watch WWE? I mean, most people that age are like, oh, one day it'll be good. I used to watch this when I was a kid, and it used to be good. A lot of times people are like, oh, it doesn't matter what the smart fans think or whatever you want to label them. I call them passionate fans, but it doesn't matter what the passionate fans think. And it does. I know nothing about music. I barely know about television and movies, especially when it comes to America. I go to someone that does know a lot. Like Boom Boom works in news. So if I have a question about news in America, I ask Boom Boom. Wrestling Rantin reviews movies. So if I'm like, oh, I don't know anything about this movie, is it good? I don't know anything about music, but my co-author is in a band. So I'm like, oh, is this concert any good? You got to remember, people do that with wrestling fans. How often do people come up like, "Oh, you still watch wrestling? Is it any good?" And if that one person says no, well, you just lost that person for maybe another 3 or 4 months. It actually hurts your casual fans. And a lot of people are like, "Oh no, it's not like that in wrestling." Think wine. Wine is a perfect example. A lot of people don't know what wine is. And if Gary Vaynerchuk says, "Hey, this wine is amazing," you're like, "All right, well, it's great." But if you go to Gary Vaynerchuk and he's like, "Fucking wine sucks right now," you're like, "All right, well, he's not going to fucking check out wine." Granted, he sells wine for a living, so I don't think he would ever come out and say that, but you get the point.
There's always like, say a particular brand isn't very good. Yeah, you may not try that brand.
Yeah. And all that, but like, how often if you're watching this show on YouTube, you're probably a pretty big diehard wrestling fan. You might not agree with everything, but you're a pretty diehard if you're watching the show. How often do you go to work, to class, to your friends, and you're the wrestling expert? And how often do passionate fans like us be like, "It's not worth it. Don't bother going." And those numbers add up. And like everyone's like, "Oh, look at the decline of ratings. Just look at it over the years." That's why I'm like, oh, like one of my hated propaganda things is, well, everyone comes back. Well, if everyone comes back, how come every year the ratings are on an all-time new low? It's just people believe the propaganda, because one thing that Vince did that was genius, he convinced all of us were smart. He convinced all of us were in the business. And once you're convinced you're in the business behind the curtain, you want to keep a secret that doesn't exist. Spoiler, it doesn't fucking exist. It never existed. I wish I had a time machine. As a grown man, I wish for a time machine way too much. Boom Boom can fucking vouch for this.
Yes.
Like, I'll be like, I can't find my earphones. I wish I had a time machine. I think about a time machine so much. I'm reading The Time Machine, actually, right now. It's a very classic novel where the coin phrase, or I'm using the wrong words, but the phrase time machine actually first happened. I'm reading it for like the 6th time. I love time travel. But if I had a time machine, I would take everyone that says, "Oh, well, kayfabe was alive." I would take them to like the fucking 50s, 60s. Do you think people were really that fucking stupid? Yeah, they let themselves go. Japan fans let themselves go. Mexican fans let themselves go. And the other fans used to let themselves go. But if we had a time machine and we sat there with a pole and we wore a little hat, and it's in black and white because obviously everything in the history back then was in black and white, and like, "Hey, pal, this is how we talked back then. Do you know wrestling? Do you think wrestling's real or fake?" They would just look at you like, "Are you a fucking idiot?" That's like, no one goes, "Oh, back in Shakespeare's day, they really thought every fucking show, Romeo and Juliet died." Human beings ain't that fucking stupid. They're not that fucking stupid. It's a daydream. Kayfabe is make-believe. It's not fucking real. Go ask the oldest person you know. Oh my God, I opened myself up to a lot of it's me. But ask the oldest person you know and be like, "Did you ever think pro wrestling was real?" And yeah, they might joke around like, "Yeah, I believed it was real like Santa Claus," but no one fucking did. Now, did they let themselves go? Did they let themselves believe? Of course, because that's what you do at entertainment. It's just, but keep passing that propaganda, you're in the business. You're smart, and the product and the ratings go down. It's genius marketing, by the way. I will never bash WWE marketing. Loza says, "I think if WWE gets better or ROH gets better, I think if TNA gets better or ROH was bigger, they will be the WEF to WWE's WCW." Maybe, but the problem is, it's hard. It's harder to knock WWE down now more than ever. I don't think ROH will ever have the money, and ROH, they can just steal the talent when the contract's up. They have so much money. And TNA, they have the money. I just don't have faith in Dixie Carter. Like, if I had a yard sale, all right, I had a yard sale, and I fucking like, I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna leave someone in charge, and the only person I could trust was Dixie Carter. I wouldn't take that nap. I wouldn't let the bitch even run a yard sale. And what would be WWE's creative destruction? I think WWE would only make the product good if they were forced to. I literally have no clue who they would go with if Reigns got hurt. Yeah, that's a great point. And I think there's plenty of options, but we're running out of time, and a lot of people are already ruined. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's a great point, CM Punk 727. WWE is attacking ROH, so ROH is fucked. All right. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, come on. I will pay you $10. This chat is not as easy as the fucking comments. All right. Boop, 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 boop.
Because it
Crap,
moves.
there's a lot of chat, folks.
There's a lot of people chatting in the chat room. Shit, you say?
Well, yeah, but like, it scrolls up, it gets crazy. Why don't you go live comments, YouTube? All right, I think we're here. I'm gonna start here. If I missed a comment, I apologize. Coco, did WWE ruin the Rumble by making it all about Reigns and who will win it? I think if Reigns wins, yeah, but I think it gives them a lot of options. So put a little thumbtack on it, and I don't know. But the thing is, I think the Royal Rumble's been ruined for a while because of bad booking. The Royal Rumble back in the day guaranteed you a spot at the WrestleMania. Now it's like, all right, you won the Royal Rumble, you get a spot at WrestleMania, but the fans really want this guy, so we're going to throw him in because we don't know how to fucking book. Oh, you want a spot at Royal Rumble, but it's not really working out, so you're going to have to challenge at fucking Tire Mania before WrestleMania and fucking lose, whatever, because I think it's Fastlane now.
Yeah, it's Fastlane.
Yeah, so like, I think the Royal Rumble's been ruined for a while. I really have, and I think it's just because of bad booking. And the thing is, we had this argument with New Japan fans, with Wrestle Kingdom 9. We had this argument with Royal Rumble. If you could fix your problems after the Royal Rumble loses its power. So I don't know. The Royal Rumble is my favorite WWE pay-per-view of all time. And the last couple of years, it's lost its specialness. Like, let's say, all right, Roman Reigns wins the title. All right, so that's like a Matt Hardy fucking tournament. Who the fuck is that stupid to do that? Second, okay, he doesn't fucking win the tournament. Who's the number one contender? Like, it's just, I don't know. To me, the Royal Rumble's special. And every time you badly book it, it loses its specialness. Like, I think Wrestle Kingdom, everyone's like, well, Okada got the title back, and he didn't do it at Wrestle Kingdom. I'm talking about 9. Oh, I said I would stop talking about this after 10.
Yeah,
but
I'm going to ask you to keep talking about that.
Okay, yeah, he wins it, but then Wrestle Kingdom isn't as special. Royal Rumble and WrestleMania is supposed to be special. If you're like, well, WrestleMania sucked, but Raw, they really bounced back. Well, that's awesome for the people at Raw. That's awesome for us wrestling fans. But WrestleMania doesn't feel as special. Bruno says if Reigns got hurt, would just improvise by doing Lesnar or Triple H or something. Yeah, I'd probably pay the Rock.
Yeah, they would go. Yeah, they just put the belt on Lesnar and have him defend it once every 9 months.
Yeah. Julie Harrison. She is old school. That's old school internet infantry there. I hope you've been doing well. We've missed you. Holy shit, this is the best news I've heard all day. NXT Invasion angle, yay or nay? Anyone but Vince in charge of it? Anyone but the McMahons in charge of it? Yay. Vince McMahon, look at the Divas Revolution. That was a softball. That was a home run out of the park, and they fucked it up. So, yay, any creative team but WWE's. But I say no. I mean, if you want to bring up NXT guys at the Rumble and have them part of WrestleMania, that's a yeah. But an actual invasion, no, because WWE 1 + 1 equals dun 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 dun. Like what? Like they're horrible storytellers. Rumble is ruined because either Reigns wins or Reigns will be winning the WWE Championship back at Mania. You know what, wrestling hobo? I think you're absolutely.
He just made me sad. He made me sad.
I think he's right, and it did make me sad.
Yeah, he's absolutely fucking right.
But I don't know. There's just opportunity in the air, but they always fuck up opportunity. AJ Styles needs to be pushed. That would be sick, and that's from Ricky. Batista return. I love Dave Batista, the human being. I think he's one of the greatest human beings out there. I think he's a great person. Dave Batista hits that fucking ring. I hate him. Like I love him in his movies. I love him in his MMA career. Dave Batista is what John Cena pretends to be. Dave Batista is a legit good person. He steps in that fucking ropes. I'm like, fuck him. You know what I mean? I don't want Batista to return. I just want him to be happy and be successful at something else. But yeah, I hate Dave Batista the wrestler, but Dave Batista the man is literally the man John Cena pretends to be. Goldberg and Lesnar in Rumble this year? Oh, possibility. There's been a lot of Goldberg rumors lately. They have so much potential for this Royal Rumble. Dude, they have so much potential for this Royal Rumble to be amazing. Buff Bagwell. Gilbert. That's from Adrian and then Julia. Carlos says, AJ Styles is my favorite, and part of will be very happy. Will be seen in a bigger platform, but part of me is scared WWE will fuck it up with me. Dude, Carlos, that's me with everyone they sign. I completely understand that. Lennox Wooderson, oh my God, this is amazing. Cena is hurt and Bullet Club is invading. Yeah, well, hopefully it works out. The Viper RKO Award, not a huge Cena fan, but the thought of never seeing Cena versus Undertaker at WrestleMania sucks. Yeah, a lot of fans would enjoy that. This is gonna get me some heel heat. I'm not a big Undertaker fan. I'm not a big Cena fan. But unlike Cena, I respect Undertaker, and I think it's a matchup fans like. Wrestling Hobo Bullet Club will invade NXT and other momentum. It is stalled. Will be brought up to the main roster and die. Wrestling Hobo, you're so negative, but you're so right. Lennox Wooderson, this is how Cena makes Roman look strong without taking a loss. That the critic in me thought that too. The cynic in me thought that big time. Is Daniel Bryan coming back before the Rumble? Right now, one good thing about WWE right now, and I know we pick on WWE a lot, but one good thing about WWE right now is there's tons of potential. There's tons of mystery. They could fuck it up, but WrestleMania this year and Royal Rumble this year could be the greatest fucking thing ever. They have the talent. They have the connection. But one good thing about it is I think no one knows what's going on, even in WWE. I don't think there's fans that know what's going on. I mean, you can bet for worst case scenario and probably win that bet. I mean, worst case scenario in WWE wins often in Vegas. Like, what would you like to bet on? Worst case scenario. Ding, 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 ding. We have another winner. But, yeah, I think a lot of people honestly don't know, but I'm including WWE employees. I think that's why the Roman Reigns, Vince McMahon angle was good, because it's the first time in a long time there's been potential. Lennox Wooderson, all the reason to bring back Bryan. Yeah, that'd be amazing. But I don't know if he's healthy, because I have concussion problems. That's why I twitch and don't work as much. Daniel Bryan, I love him. I was the first person to ever do a radio interview according to him with Daniel Bryan. He was the American Dragon back then. He even wore a mask. I love Daniel Bryan. I would love to see him come back. But if he's risking further injury for WWE, it's not worth it. He's been to the mountaintop. And I love him. If he comes back and he's healthy, fucking high fives for everybody. But if he's risking, twitching, memory problems, sleeping disorders, your chance of Parkinson's goes up, nerve damage. These are all things that I have to suffer with. I love pro wrestling. I love Daniel Bryan. It's not worth the risks. He's already been to the top. But then who knows? They might not be. According to him, he's okay. Vince is the reason we need gun control, because those guns are sick. Julie Harrison, nice. CM Punk. I honestly think that bringing AJ and the boys in for the marks will buy a network and watch NXT. AJ might be the only one who has a chance. Maybe. I also think Nakamura. Ever since they signed Kenta, and I've said this in the last podcast, I live in Japan, and pre-Kenta signing, if you liked WWE in Japan, they just thought you liked everything American. And WWE was very, very racist, and not only that, but also, I don't want to claim they're racist. They had a reputation of being racist. My opinion, they are beyond fucking racist. But some people will be like, no way! But they had a horrible reputation of being racist. They had a horrible reputation. Like, there was even, fucking online debates in Japanese where WWE is pretty much, we're only doing this because J Sports forces us to do it. It was a bad relationship. But then WWE, they hired people, they made it fucking smart, and ever since the signing of Kenta, it's that feeling has been gone. They signed Kana, they signed Kenta, Prince Devitt, is not Japanese, but is beloved here, winning the NXT title here. So they've done a lot to turn things around. So I don't think they would ruin Nakamura. I could be wrong. Nakamura, for those that don't know, is a huge star, huge entertainment, is beloved by Japan, and I could be wrong. But the way at post-signing Kenta, I can't see them fucking up Nakamura. I just can't, because Okada turned them down. Because a lot of people don't know this, and this is according to Japanese websites and Japanese reports, so take it what you will. Japan sometimes reports kayfabe stuff, but even in quotes, and they might be young bucks in us, they shoot fabe. Okada has turned down WWE multiple times because he's like, why? Why would I want to be Yoshitatsu? Poor Yoshitatsu, I love him. But why? And there's a famous quote, and I'm going to misquote it by Okada. A lot of people say I'm a big fish in a small pond. I don't see it that way. I'm going to make this pond the biggest pond in the world. And hopefully it's successful. But yeah, Okada, there's a lot of Japanese people that turn down deals because who wants to be that fucking asshole when you can be a star? So I understand where you're coming from. I would be shocked and even a bit hurt as a fan if they fuck up Nakamura. I think there's a lot of pressure to improve. Because you got to remember, WWE is #1 worldwide, except in certain parts of Mexico, India, and Japan. So, and they're very competitive, so they might care about the network. And a network launched one day after it. There's a WWE network now, so they're on the ESPN of Japan. I don't know. I would be kind of disappointed if Nakamura doesn't do good, because it's just crazy how over it is. Ricky says Undertaker versus Kane in prom panties match. Nice. Hit that like button if you're more hyped for WrestleMania. I appreciate it, Lennox Wooderson. Forget about Daniel Bryan, CM Punk said. Well, I'll always remember him. I just don't know if he's coming back. I won't he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, but I think he means forget about him coming back, which probably. Sabu versus Undertaker. The dream match, two of our hosts had a big argument of who's better, Sabu or Kane. So our dream match for two co-hosts, Rob and LK, would be Sabu versus Kane. Wrestling Hobo in 2016. You can't do pro wrestling the same way it's already been done. Everyone knows that it's a work. Yeah. I agree with that. In 2016, he says that. I think it's been that way for a while. Just people let it go. And yeah, I agree. I agree. But, magic still exists. Dusty Rhodes always compared pro wrestling to magic. And magic still exists, and people still go to David Copperfield, and David Copperfield even starts off like, none of this is real, it's an illusion. But at the end of the day, he ups his game and he improves. And comparing wrestling to magic is a really good comparison because they have the kayfabe problem. And plus, there's a huge kayfabe problem in WWE anyway. Triple H is more likely to fight Roman for the belt at Mania now. That's Lennox Wooderson. All right, booms. These comments go forever. Do you want to go a limit here? Or still speed it up?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's put a little limit here. Let's go for another minute. Get your comments in, and then after that, we'll do a cutoff.
All right. I know what sucks about this, the live comments. It don't save it in our regular comments. I wish there was live comments, or at least the chat gets directed, because there's so many comments, YouTube, and we're not going to get to them. And then when the show's over, we don't have access to them. You really fucked up there, YouTube. It would be cool if Brian won the Rumble after all the heat last couple of years. That would be amazing, but I don't want him to risk injury. Triple H to break Ric Flair's record. Oh, praise God. I don't think that's going to happen. Unlike John Cena, Triple H has respect. Built a few guys up, Owens, Dean, Cesaro, and Reigns at the same time. Too much to focus on Reigns, and that's from Michael Douglas. I agree. Mania is 3 months away. Yeah, it's gonna be a very exciting or very depressing time. The next 3 months are gonna be so exciting or so depressing. Just like life. Lennox Wooderson, oh my God, what if there's Swerve so we can have Cena return to the Rumble and he wins? I'm scared now. Yeah, the Swerve thing scares me. CJ Boss screams, Cesaro's out, bitch. All right, well, that happens. I don't understand why you're so happy. Like, I don't know. I wonder who Undertaker will face at WrestleMania. Boom. I don't know. I don't think they even know. Hey, CM Punk 727 says, hey guys, ruined when the guy moves up and down the card and even booking. Yeah. The Jangles clan says WWE already had no idea what they were going to do for Mania. This is just another fork in the road. Seth Alpha Rollins, yes, and so happy. Okay, I'm skipping these. Seth Alpha Rollins says Cena's shoulder got injured by using his shovel so much. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz. Sting out too. Oh yeah, that's a great point. By Omubo. I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Lennox Wooderson, Cena has a shoulder injury and he's been wrestling Alberto. What if Alberto is hurting him? Is his way of getting back to the feds after selling out? That would be the greatest RF shoot interview if it would happen. Could you imagine? First off, I that's probably not true, but there's a part of me that, yeah. Wrestling hobo, all WWE heels are cowardly heels now, especially if they're a smaller body type. Yeah, but I think they're going too far. And I don't think you need to do that. But yeah, I see your point. Amumu says, I don't know who Undertaker could face. Maybe we'll have to do a booking show. Matter of fact, this is a good time to plug this. Rob used to be on this podcast a lot and then stopped, and he wants to get back into podcasting once a week. On our ProWrestling.me forums, I have a thing. Do you want TEW, which is a booking game, a WWE Fantasy Booking game, and TEW, where we could just take over WWE, TEW, which is a really advanced booking game where we just compete, like we're WCW of now, or a WWE Fantasy Booking. And by the way, I love the people that are doing a fantasy booking and literally saying word for word what I said years ago. But yeah, no, because it was funny. Like someone on the Internet Aperture showed me, like there's like a really popular channel that's like, oh, we do booking now, and like they like are comparing what I said 5-6 years ago to what they're saying now, and I'm like, man, we might have to get into the shiny graphics business. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, so that's on our ProWrestling.me forums. We plan on doing a lot more shows. Live comments make these shows a lot longer, Booms. Heel Seth was ruined by the Authority. Poe says, would you have booked a heel Reigns that cowardly? Hell no. That's a great point. Undertaker versus Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens can talk you into the building. Taker versus Lesnar. 12. I don't know about that. They would book the. I'm not going to give credit. I'm just going to go fast. I apologize for not giving credit. Just because I want to go as fast as I can. Let's see if speed round. Ready, Booms? Let's see if I can do this. Booms, just chime in whenever because I think we're repeating a lot of the same things. But I like to be interactive. That's why I wish. Fuck you, YouTube. Fix your shit. They would book a heel Reigns as ruthless monster heel. Great point. WWE needs Cena to draw for Mania. I don't agree with that, but maybe. I think they believe that. Perfect new match for Undertaker at WrestleMania. Undertaker versus Kane, a bra and panties match. All right. This is what happens when you bury everyone. You have no main event. Great point. And even the Pro Cena guys have been saying that. I actually don't mind Reigns right now. I know that comment is kind of unpopular. No, I'm with you on that one. But as long as he eventually loses some matches, then I'm okay. Yeah, and they have to hide his weaknesses. But yeah, I'm with you, Carlos. I know it's not popular, but hey, speak from the heart. Speak from the heart. Or even better for WrestleMania, Kane versus Undertaker. All right. I'm glad we're reading every comment, Booms. This has been a huge
Yeah, I'm
success.
glad you're doing it, Dave. You know, it's like, oh, I want to be more interactive, and I'm going to read everything. I've got the Ron Burgundy of co-host here. Dave Coco will read
because they left
anything.
comments. We're such a small show, and if they like
I'm telling
comments,
you,
I feel like
internet
you should
infantry, put
interact.
the most nonsensical sentence on the screen. Dave will read it. He won't check anything. He just reads everything blindly. You could put, Dave Coco, if you read this, I will shoot your family, burn your condo to the ground, rape your students if you just keep reading this sentence. And Dave was like, oh, I guess I shouldn't have read that.
Bring back Kevin Nash. EC3 is secretly Jesus Christ undercover. Ouch, my quad. They would probably attack the jetpack to Finn Balor if Reigns got injured. Oh, I hope so, Wrestling Hobo. Reigns is trash on the mic and in the ring. He's mediocre at best, and the top guy needs to be able to excel in something. Have you not seen the trio of Randy Orton, Batista, and Cena? I agree with you 100%, Lennox Wooderson, but that's not the way WWE works. They're not in the business of being awesome. What if Triple H fucks Stephanie McMahon at WrestleMania 32? I think Skittles and being
Dave, I'm cutting you off. You're not.
That's the last one. That's the one that breaks your back.
You're done. You're done. Because I know this is not going to stop.
All right. So congratulations, Ricky. You're the one that broke Triple H. I mean, Triple H's back. You're the one that broke Boom Boom's back with that straw. Listen, thank you so much for all the chat. I'm sorry we didn't hit up. Oh, crap. We didn't hit anything else up. Let's see. Bobby on Facebook says, I just read about that. Crazy amount of injuries now with their biggest star only being back 1 week. But who knows for how long. John Ball says, I bet somebody just thanked Terry Funk under their breath. The evil part of me, the evil Pat. ProWrestling.me, go there now. KocoSports.net, go there now. And, see, there's no live tweets. So people like, fuck Twitter. And they're 10K. Actually, I like the 10K, though. Oh, no, there is live tweets. At C_Dana0326 says, with Cena likely out of Mania and the guys we like not being pushed correctly, what would you think the card would look like? That's definitely its own show. That's long. And, of course, Booms, it wouldn't be our podcast if at Joe O'Hare Comedy on Twitter didn't like and tweet us. Much love. Everyone go follow at Joe O'Hare Comedy. He retweets everything for us, and much love. We appreciate it. And I think that's it. If we missed your comment, I do apologize. Please tweet us at KocoSports. We try to be the most interactive show. Sometimes it goes a bit long, and some people don't like that, but you don't have to watch the comment portions of the show. Please like, comment, subscribe. Me and Boom Boom will be doing a New Japan show. LK did a solo show about TNA on his channel. I still haven't watched it yet. And yeah, there's so much we have to do and just not enough time. Live chat was awesome, but this 10-minute show just went 7 hours, Booms. 7 hours. If we miss your chat, I want to apologize, and I hope YouTube fixes that in the future. Because the cool thing about comments is we can end the show like an hour ago and interact with you without being on air. But the chat, it's like, this is gone forever. You know, someone could be like asking Boom Boom for a marriage proposal. There could be a sponsor, like, if you read this fucking live comment, we'd give you $1 billion. That's on you, YouTube. Me and Booms are poor because of you. YouTube has become Yano. We love and hate you at the same time. John Cena, get well, but also become successful at something else while you're gone so you never return. I think that's the nicest thing I could say about it. Booms, your last message to John Cena, because I'm sure he waited this long to hear it.
Yeah, he totally just went. No, I would actually say, in all sincerity, say get well soon. I just don't like to see somebody injured like that. I'd like to see, just get well. Just, don't stay out of the main event. That's pretty much all I would say.
It's like, get well, but while you're there, if you became the most famous actor of all time, we'd appreciate
Exactly.
that. All right. So please like, comment, subscribe. We have a lot of shows planned this week. There will be a New Japan show. There'll probably be a TNA show. Maybe an NXT voting on award show, but I don't know. And in the future, we're going to try to do a lot more shows. And please go to prowrestling.me and vote on the forum what type of show you'd like me and Rob to do, a TEW game where we try to defeat WWE, and that's a booking simulator. We take over WWE, or just a WWE Fantasy Booking show, like we book WrestleMania and then book all that fun stuff. I know it's done a lot, but I don't want to say I'm an old man, but I don't remember it being done back in the day when you had to actually be on the radio. Those were good days. Remember, we're old. We're so old we get to claim ideas. Like, and not only that, but we're so old and delusional. Be like, me and Boom Boom created the question mark. We're so old. How are you gonna know? Go look up on Wikipedia who created. I'm just fucking. All right, Booms. Rumor has it this show has gone too long.
Yes, just a little bit.
KocoSports.net, ProWrestling.me, Coco Plays, Operation Freak Show in bookstores, Amazon, February 25th, 2016. It is my novel. Hopefully you enjoy it. It's about a bunch of vigilantes who put on luchador masks and go around killing pedophiles. Hopefully people enjoy it, and hopefully it comes out on time. If not, I'll be more upset about that than anything. So like, comment, subscribe, and there'll be a ton of shows on this channel as we try to improve our more shows in 2016. And go to prowrestling.me and vote on that. Booms, you want to go old school since we're old?
Might as
Piece
well.
of advice to end the show?
Let's see. Piece of advice to end the show. Let's see.
You can use an old one. Fucking, we're old. No one fucking knows.
Oh, you can use an old one. Let's see. If your woman tells you to go ahead and do something, abort immediately. Do not do it. Do whatever you do. Do not do whatever it is you're about to do. Hit the eject button. You're done.
That's some good advice there, Grandpa Boom Boom. And with that, I am over. Bum, 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 bum.